My family and I moved to Salem, Oregon a few years back, and I remember what the challenge was to find the right neighborhood that met our lifestyle, what we needed as a family to feel comfortable in our new city. Now, I had visited Salem a few times to see my brother, but we never really ventured much outside of his neighborhood, the community that he lived in. So at that time, I didn't really get a good feel for what Salem was like. Now, before we made our big move, I looked up online to see what the different neighborhoods were like, but I really couldn't find anything. So I wanted to make this video for you thinking about relocating to Salem, Oregon, so you have a good idea of the different lifestyles that you can live in Salem, Oregon, because each neighborhood that we're going to go over here offers its own unique way of life. And if you're anything like my family and I, there are a lot of factors to weigh out to see what is the best needs. Do you need to be close to the I-5 freeway? Do you want to be close to amenities, restaurants, and shopping? Do you need something a little bit more walkable? Do you need to be close to a certain part of town for work? Do you want to be on the outskirts of town, closer to farmland? It depends on what you're looking for. And in this video, we are going to give you a taste of what some of these larger neighborhoods are like in Salem, Oregon. And make sure you stay tuned to the end, because I'm going to reveal the neighborhood that I chose to move to with my family and give you the reasons why I think for us it's the best neighborhood we could have chosen, and we couldn't be more happy. The first neighborhood we're going to go over is the downtown Salem area. Now, this is the heart of the city. If you live in the downtown area, you're pretty much 20 minutes from anything that you need within the city of Salem. The reason why this is the heart of downtown Salem is because this is where most people come to congregate as a community. We've got a cute downtown. It's very charming. It's only about 7 square blocks. If you really condense it down, it's really 4 where most of your entertainment is. The other 3 are going to be made up of the government buildings and the Capitol building, because we are in Salem, the capital of Oregon. The Capitol building has some really cool grounds. They do some festivals in and around that area. Cherry Blossom Festival, because they've got beautiful cherry blossoms that bloom for a few weeks out of the year during spring. And then again, all those government buildings. What is really cool about what I call the government building area of downtown is that on the weekends, on Saturday, during spring and summer, early fall, you've got the Saturday market where they use the parking lots that people park in for the government facilities, and they open it up to a huge Saturday market, which is like a farmer's market, where you can find local produce from all the local farmers around Salem. Really cool crafts, great food, entertainment, and a really fun place to go. We get our favorite baked goods there as well, get some coffee. They even have whiskey tastings there. So it's a great experience. We love going there. Probably go there a couple times a month, if not more, depending on our schedule. But that's a really cool part of downtown as well. But bringing it back to the very charming downtown, it's a place that you really want to walk around, go into some really cool shops, antique stores. They've got some great restaurants, great dining. I see some of the best food you're going to find in Salem is in the downtown area. They've got sweet shops for the kids, antique stores, bike shops. They have bars, a cool arcade dedicated to like the 80s and 90s video games, which is really cool. A really old vintage bookstore called Book Bin. It's one of my favorite places to go and hang out. Great coffee spots throughout the city like Isaac's, Archive. They've got an indoor shopping mall that is a little bit to be desired, but it's been bought up by new developers and it's going to be reimagined, which I'm really looking forward to. You've got a movie theater playing all modern movies, contemporary movies, and then you have an old theater, the Grand Theater. I think it was built in 1902, if I'm not mistaken, but early 1900s. It's a really cool spot to catch in some old movies, or they do some cult classics. They also have some live shows there. They've got a comedy club downtown. So again, it's a really inviting spot to be, and it can become pretty popular over the weekends. They've got music festivals downtown as well. Now, adjacent to the downtown area, you have the Riverfront Park, which runs along the Willamette River, and that's a really cool spot too. It's a huge open space in the downtown area where they've got a splash pad, playground, amphitheater for movies at night, concerts in the evening, live plays as well. They've got the carousel, great for the kids. My kids love going there. A great place to walk and run. And then it connects to, there's a bridge there that connects into Mento Island Brown Park, which again, all along the Willamette River. So you see some great nature. You see deer there, great cranes, ducks, you name it, you're going to find it there. It's a really special spot, and I love that it's really close to downtown. Now, if you want to live downtown area, it's pretty slim pickings. You really only have a few condo choices, And that's about it. If you want single family homes, well, you're gonna have to continue watching the video because we're gonna talk about neighborhoods just adjacent to the downtown area, making it really easy to access. Now, as I mentioned, there really aren't single family homes in the downtown area. So this area I'm talking about next will give you the single family home lifestyle, and it's adjacent to the downtown area. And we are talking about the Bush Park, kind of south central portion of Salem, which is just south of the downtown area. It's a really cool, unique, historic area. You've got beautiful homes, bungalow homes, craftsman style homes, and these homes are some of the original homes in the Salem area, and they've kept their charm. When you're driving throughout these streets, you really can't help but smile because they're tree lined, and it kind of reminds you of kind of old Americana, which is, again, these older homes that haven't really been disturbed on the outside. On the inside, a lot of them have been remodeled and rebuilt and more contemporary, but they all have that kind of old American charm feel. You're going to see a lot of people out in their garden. They've got beautiful gardens in this neighborhood. Especially during spring, you see all the flowers blooming here. People are always walking their dogs and taking walks in the neighborhood. It's really nice to see. I see kids outside playing as well. And again, you are super close to the downtown area, so you get to take advantage of everything I just talked about in that neighborhood. You're really close. You could walk there. You're only a few blocks away. Ride your bike there, or quick drive. Easy access. Now, in this community, you also have a really cool playground called Let's Play Park. A really nice open area for kids and families to enjoy. And again, that's also pretty much adjacent to the downtown area. You also have the main branch of the Salem Library right adjacent to this neighborhood. So again, you could easily walk there. If you got a family, it's great for kids. They've got story time in there. Or if you just like to check out books and not have to buy them, great access there as well. Also really close by is Mento Island Brown Park, which I alluded to before. Huge open space where they've got a dog park area, playground, and just this all big open area for hiking, easy trails. And I would say hiking, it's really walking. It's pretty flat. So, but it takes you all through the Mento Island Brown area. Really, it's adjacent to the Willamette River, so you get some great river views. I see people picnicking there and just having a great time. People are riding their bikes, rollerblading, jogging, running, walking. It's a great spot to be, and it's right adjacent to this neighborhood as well. The main street that runs through this neighborhood is Liberty, and you're going to find a lot of professional services there. You've got architects, attorneys, estate planners, doctor offices, and more, yoga studios and more. So it's a really cool spot. Again, all within walking distance or easy access to get to these amenities as well. So if you are looking for a neighborhood that is really close to the action, feeling kind of the buzz of the city, close to downtown, this could be a great fit for you. Now, if you're looking for larger homes, more contemporary homes, wider streets, then you may want to continue watching to see where those neighborhoods are in Salem. As a reminder, I'm Dave Fein with the Real Estate Dads at eXp Realty, a local real estate agent right here in the city of Salem. And my team and I love helping people move to and from this city. So if you are thinking about relocating here or moving away, make sure you hit us up at the contact information below and we will reach back out to you. If you like what you see, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to get more videos, hit the bell to get notified, and comment below. I'd love to hear if you're considering any particular neighborhoods. I can answer your questions there as well. Now, this next neighborhood we're going to talk about is a little south and west from this south central area we just got done talking about, and it's called South Salem. I'm sure a map's popping up right now to give you an idea of where it is, but it's pretty much situated between the Willamette River and Commercial Street. Now, it's called South Salem, but it is definitely not the southernmost portion of Salem. Those are all called different neighborhoods, which we'll get to in a little bit here. When we're talking about South Salem, you are a little bit more away from the action, but you are definitely close enough to a lot of amenities, especially along Commercial Street. It's a pretty peaceful neighborhood. It's quiet, a lot of old growth trees, pines and oaks, slightly wider streets. You're going to find a little bit larger homes here, a lot of mid-century and ranch style classic homes here in this neighborhood. A lot of people outside. Now, this area does have quite a few hills, so if that's something that you do enjoy, because it can provide some great views, and it's also just kind of nice when you're driving through the neighborhood to see some of these views, then this neighborhood may be a good fit for you. If you're someone that doesn't like hills, then you may want to continue watching and look for some areas that are a little bit more flat. Again, this is a neighborhood where you're going to see people outside walking their dogs, walking with their families, taking a nice stroll, or walking down to Commercial Street to get to some restaurants or some shopping, because you can be close to that. You're also, if you go more further west into the South Salem area, it puts you closer to River Road, which is along the Willamette River, and that's a little bit more away from it all. So it's a little bit more quiet, little bit more peaceful there. It takes you a little bit longer to get to some of the amenities, but it does put you closer to the courthouse gym, which is this really great gym area. It's got indoor pool, racquetball courts, all the gym equipment you can imagine, really cool classes, dance studio. It's also really close to the Salem Golf Club, so if you're into golfing and you want to be living in a neighborhood that's really close to that, then this could be a good spot for you. It's a really nice, peaceful course, again, along the Willamette River. Also, if you're into nature, this neighborhood also is adjacent to the Mento Island Brown Park, which I had mentioned before, that wide open green space. So it's a perfect getaway if you want to be away from the city. What I actually really like about this neighborhood is you're kind of right in the middle of all the amenities you want along Commercial, and then you're right adjacent to the Willamette River, where you have that big open space at Mento Island Brown Park to do all your nature walks, kind of escape that city feel. And really, when you're in that park, you don't feel like you're in a city at all. Now, if you are looking for newer homes or newer construction, it's a little bit harder to find in this neighborhood. This isn't probably the first neighborhood you're going to take a look at, although there are some little pocket areas where you are going to find new construction, new homes that were just built. So if that is something that you want and this neighborhood does sound appealing to you, make sure you hit us up and I can find those pockets for you. If you're looking for more of the country club lifestyle, where it's really tucked away from the rest of the city, and you want these rolling hills or these more estate-sized properties with large homes, large lots, newly built, then this next neighborhood is going to be for you. It's the Croissant-Alehi area. It's probably one of the most expensive neighborhoods in the city of Salem. You're right by the Alehi Country Club as well, where they've got beautiful golf courses, events there. It's a beautiful property where the homes are running across and overlooking part of the golf course. And again, very private in this area. There's really no reason people are driving through this area unless you live here. Now, the neighborhood is mixed with these really upscale properties with large plots of land, like 2 acres, big estate-sized homes on them. And it's also adjacent to homes that are still bigger, a little bit more closer to each other. The lot sizes are a little bit smaller, but still bigger than many that you're going to find in the rest of Salem. But it's a beautifully clean, well-kept neighborhood where you have some flatter portions, but also these really beautiful rolling hills with some fantastic views, some great tree-lined streets, and again, very, very private. It's about a 10-15 minute drive along River Road to get into the downtown area. And then if you want to get into the amenities along Commercial Street, then that's a little bit different because you have to go through the South Salem neighborhood, which is going to be a little bit windy, a little bit slower. So it's, even though geographically it looks pretty close, it's still about 10-15 minutes away from that as well. But you really do feel away from it all. It's extremely peaceful. And again, you are still close to everything that you would want in the city of Salem. You're also down the road from Mento Island Brown Park, which I've talked about a few times. The courthouse gym is there as well. The drawback for this neighborhood is that you're not really going to just walk or take a bike ride to your favorite restaurant or shopping. There's a really good restaurant that is actually close by. It's called Lively Station. Some great drink menus there, great food, really cool atmosphere. So that's right down the road. But aside from that, you have to go into the downtown area or along Commercial Street to really get to any of your amenities of shopping, markets, or restaurants that you'd want. Now, if you do like the idea of being tucked away from the city, but still being close to amenities, and yet you don't want to pay the high prices of the Croissant-Alehi area that we just talked about, then this next neighborhood may be a good fit for you, and it's called Sunny Slope. Now, this neighborhood runs along Skyline and Liberty, which is your north-south streets in this area where most of your amenities are going to be for this neighborhood. You've got Roth Supermarket, which is kind of a higher-end market, almost like a Whole Foods. You've got some good dining options there and some shopping options along those streets as well. Now, along Kubler, which is your east-west streets, Kubler will actually take you more into the action of the southern portions of Salem, where you're going to find more amenities, including Costco, Walmart, etc. But if you go west on there, I don't know if I said east or west, but if you go east, you're closer to going more into the city, more into the amenities. Going west, you're more into the farmland area. And for me, I love that idea because this neighborhood is a little pocket area where, again, you're close to amenities, but you're surrounded by farmland, big open space, green space, nature, and you just can feel like you can take a big breath of fresh air in this area. This area is going to be a mix of home styles, ranch style homes, more contemporary homes, even new construction we'll get to in a minute. You find larger homes here. You also find a community of older homes for a little bit more affordable price range if you still want to be in this neighborhood. This is also a neighborhood where it's not really going to be a pass-through community. There's no reason to go through this neighborhood unless you live there. As I mentioned, there's farmland surrounding it. So really, if you're only passing through to get to the farm area, otherwise, there's really no reason to be there unless you live there, making it a pretty quiet and peaceful neighborhood. Now, I did mention a variety of homes here, and there are some great areas with some really old growth trees, tree-lined streets, beautiful spots. Kind of feels like you're definitely in the Pacific Northwest in this neighborhood. There's also new construction, and this is mainly going to be on the southern portion of Kubler. We're going to find newer construction homes. So if you are looking for newer construction, this is a pocket area where you may want to consider. Again, reach out to my team and I'll help you really locate those areas for you. Now, this neighborhood may not be for you if this feels a little bit too away from the action, not close enough to more amenities. And in that case, continue watching. We're going to get to those neighborhoods as well. This next neighborhood is adjacent to the Sunny Slope area. It's this triangle wedge area. It's popping up on the map now between Liberty and Commercial. And this puts you kind of right in the heart of amenities for the southern portion of the city of Salem. What I really enjoy about this neighborhood is that not only do you live close to a lot of the amenities here, but if you want to be in the heart of the city in the downtown area, you're just a quick drive, shoot down Commercial, shoot down Liberty. They will both take you right into the downtown Salem area, around 7-10 minutes, depending on a little bit of traffic, but just super close. So I do enjoy that aspect of this neighborhood. And this neighborhood does have a mix of some really high-end homes, some ranch-style homes with larger lots, and an older community as well. And what's interesting about this neighborhood is that you're in this pocket, in this triangle, this wedge area, and when you're in the neighborhood, you really almost don't feel like you're part of the city. You do feel like you're away from it. Not so much as if you're living in Sunny Slope, in the Sunny Slope area, but again, once you go into this pocket, it's quiet, it's peaceful, and you don't really feel the hustle and bustle of the city or the commotion from all the amenities being close to you. It's not really until you pop out onto Commercial or Liberty that you're like, oh yeah, it kind of reminds you like I have all these amenities next to me, because inside the neighborhood, it is super quiet. Now, I kind of jokingly nicknamed this community as Market Central because it puts you close to Fred Meyer, Winco, Trader Joe's, Natural Grocers, Life Source. Those are 5 markets right there at your picking. All of these markets have a different feel, but I guarantee you will find whatever you want at any one of these 5 markets, and it really gives you the choice. And I almost forgot, there is a 6th one, Roth's. There's a Roth's market here as well. Again, a little bit more higher end market for that experience. Now, if you're looking for entertainment, there's a Northern Lights Theater, which plays contemporary movies, which is right adjacent to the neighborhood. You've got Any Given Sunday, which is a really cool ice cream spot. Great Thai food in the area. You've got some great antique shopping here, some more restaurants, professional services. Again, all of these are along Commercial and Liberty as well. Also in this neighborhood, you're going to find the Salem Tennis and Swim Club, where we've got a lot of tennis courts, swimming here, outdoor swimming pool, get swim lessons if you need that for your kids. Oh, I forgot to mention about the Northern Lights Theater, why it's so special and unique, and it's really cool to be in this neighborhood, is that they've got $5 Tuesday movies. It's a pub-style theater, so you can find your favorite drink while watching your favorite movie. And they also have comedy shows here at this theater. So it's a really cool spot, and it's right adjacent to the Fay Wright neighborhood. Now we're going to the southernmost portion of Salem, and it's called South Gateway. Now I know I'm doing a lot of general overview of these neighborhoods. If you do want more specific information about them, check out some of my other videos that's going to have more detailed information. It'll focus on each neighborhood individually. So going back to South Gateway, as I mentioned, this is as south as you can get in the city of Salem. And again, this you have all the amenities just like you would in the Fay Wright area, except you're even further away from the action in the downtown area. So if you want to be pretty much as far as you can from the downtown area, but you still want to be in the city, then this may be a great neighborhood for you. Now you're going to find some of the more diverse home styles in this particular neighborhood, anywhere from newer construction areas to townhome communities to older communities to homes that were built in the 90s. So it really has everything for you at all different price points, which makes South Gateway a pretty cool spot to be in. Also putting you really close to some great amenities. Now Commercial Street runs right through South Gateway. So as I mentioned before, Commercial Street does have a lot of your amenities that you would want in a neighborhood. You're going to find your Walmart here, Safeway, so all your shopping needs are taken care of. You're just a hop, skip, and a jump from Costco. It's a newly built Costco, just a few years old, so that's kind of cool being in this neighborhood. Also adjacent to Costco, they're building that out as well, where they've got Chick-fil-A, Killer Burger, and more casual eat style restaurants and some shopping in that neighborhood too. Also, if you do like golfing, they got the Creekside Golf Course there as well, so you can live close to and be part of that golfing community. What's interesting about the Gateway area is they do have this massive like row house townhome community, which you would never guess that is there. But when you drive through it, it's pretty quiet and peaceful, clean, newly built. It's also really close to the courthouse gym, Planet Fitness, and all those amenities along Commercial Street. Now, tucked away into a neighborhood that you would really know is not there unless you specifically drove to it is this really beautiful community. You've got great neighborhood parks in there, more newly built homes, not brand new construction, but newly built. And it's extremely peaceful and serene and quiet. You see people walking around the neighborhood with their kids. Kids are playing at the park, people walking their dogs. It's a beautiful, beautiful neighborhood. If you want to live in an amenity-rich neighborhood that also has a lot of choices for the different types of homes that you can purchase in this area, then the South Gateway neighborhood is definitely going to be for you. Now, if you want to live closer to the downtown action, you may want to think twice about South Gateway. Now we're going to be moving back north through the city of Salem. So just north of South Gateway and east of Fein, you have the Morningside neighborhood. This runs between Commercial Street and Battle Creek Road, which Battle Creek Road will actually take you right into the big Costco that was newly built along Battle Creek and Kubler. So going into Morningside, just like South Gateway, you have a variety of home styles here to choose from in Morningside. And like Fein area, being along that Commercial Street, you've got some great access to all the amenities that you can want, including all the markets that we had talked about Fein, because this is actually just, so on the map you can see Morningside is just going to be across from the Fein area. So Commercial runs in between the two. So all of those markets that I mentioned before, Roth's, Winco, Fred Meyer, Trader Joe, etc., those are all on Commercial Street between Fein and Morningside. So Morningside has access to all of that as well, including the Northern Lights Theater, which I mentioned before. Now, Morningside does put you really close to the Salem Airport, which didn't really mean as much before, but within the last year, they've opened it up to commercial flights. They're flying into Los Angeles and Las Vegas now. I'm thinking about opening up into Phoenix and other areas. But the commercial flight, if that's important for you and you want to be really close access, Morningside may be a great neighborhood to consider for you. Now, Morningside does have an older community with some smaller homes that are built out. Those going to be closer to commercial. Now, the further east you go, the deeper you go into Morningside, the homes get newer and larger until you get into new construction. Now, in between the new construction and the older community, you have these homes that were kind of built in the 90s area. Again, when you go into this neighborhood, just like in some of the South Gateway areas and the Fein areas, you really don't feel like you're super close to all the amenities, because again, it's pretty quiet, and yet you're only like a 5-minute drive to commercial, which is pretty awesome to have that feel and being close to amenities. Now, the further east you go along Battle Creek, you are going to find new construction where it's a mix of single family homes, townhomes, and row homes, and they're still building this community out. If you drive through it, they have land that's just been broken, and they're going to start building fairly soon here. So if you are looking for new construction, again, you can find new construction throughout Salem. You just need to know where to look. My team and I have all the hot spots for that. So if that is important to you, definitely hit us up. And this is one of the communities in the neighborhoods that you can find new construction in. Now, heading north and east, we're going to now talk about the neighborhoods of East Salem, Lancaster, and Four Corners. We're going to mix them all together. The areas are pretty similar, as they're all considered part of the East Salem area. Now, East Salem to me feels probably some of the most suburban areas of the Salem area. It's pretty much all flat, so if you are looking for flat neighborhoods, you really don't like hills, or you really don't want to be away from the amenities, then East Salem may be an area to consider. Now, it is a mix of a lot of older communities here, and new construction, which I'll get to in a little bit in this portion of the video. Now, in East Salem, the closer you are to the downtown area, the more homes, they're going to be smaller homes, historic homes. So again, you're going to see some of those bungalow style homes, cute houses there. You've got Pringle Creek and Mills Creek that run through it. So it's kind of this really charming feel where your home could be sitting along a creek, which is really nice, tree-lined streets. Now, a lot of these homes have similar feel to the Bush Park, South Central area of Salem that we talked about earlier in the video, except a lot of these homes haven't quite been remodeled on the outside or inside yet. So it does, if you're someone that likes to put your own touch on it and want those older homes, this may be a good community for you. Now, the main street that runs north and south for the East Salem area is going to be Lancaster. Now, Lancaster has, again, all of your amenities that you can want between retail and shopping, restaurants, a lot of casual eats here. Again, nothing fine dining or upper scale restaurants. You're going to find more of that in the downtown area. But if you want more of the casual foods, major strip malls like the Willamette Town Center, that's where you're going to find your movie theater there for contemporary movies, Barnes & Noble. They got Best Buy, Home Goods, Hobby Lobby, you name that big box shopping mall experience, it's right there. They got Applebee's and Red Robin again for your casual eats. Across from there, you've got the Target in the area. There's only one Target in Salem, and that's across from the Willamette Valley Town Center. If you want another Target, a little bit more updated Target, you're gonna have to go into the city of Kaiser, which is a sister city just north of Salem. If you go up and down Lancaster, you're gonna be inundated with strip centers for most of your shopping. Now, it does have a cool, unique dining experience in a place called The Yard, which if you're coming from other cities or other areas, you're used to food truck experience. Well, here we have food pods, which is pretty popular in the Northwest. And the place called The Yard, basically it's this dining hall that's in the middle. It's kind of family style eating, big tables. They do live entertainment here, which is fun. And then around this dining hall, which is indoors, so as far as being protected from the weather, because we get a lot of rain here in the Northwest and in Salem, it's open year round, so you don't have to worry about that. But surrounding this dining hall area are a bunch of food pods, all sorts of foods, Thai food, pasta, Mexican, sweet treats there, breakfast foods, barbecue, whatever you can imagine the type of food is going to be there at the Yard. And then they have an outdoor area where you can play cornhole and other types of games and outdoor seating, and they've got a fire pit. So it's a pretty cool spot that's right off of Lancaster and State. So again, part of that East Salem area. They've got family entertainment here. We've got bowling alleys here. We've got a big trampoline park, indoor trampoline park along Lancaster and East Salem, which is really nice. And then it also butts up against the urban growth zone, which then you enter into farmland. So if you're into taking nice drives along into the farmland area, there are portions of East Salem. This would be East Salem that really puts you close to that. My family and I love going into the farms over here, Fordyce, especially. It's one of our favorites where they have you-pick farms where you can pick your own fruit. We go there for blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. We hit up other farms for cherries and peaches and apples. So it's a really cool experience. If you really like that and you want to be close to that and easy access, then East Salem's a really cool spot for that. Now, talking about new construction, this is probably one of the biggest new construction areas you're going to find in all of Salem. Now, this new construction community along Corbin Road, which is as far east as you can go in the city of Salem before you getting into the farmland area, and between State Street, which will take you into downtown area, and Center Street. Not quite Center Street, but close enough to Center Street that also takes you into the downtown area. Now, this is a massively planned community where a lot of the homes are being built right now, and a lot of the ground is still being broken to build. But there are homes that are already built out, people living in this area. And then again, if you're looking for new construction and this is something that's important to you, then make sure you hit us up. I've got some great connections over there where you can find some great spots for newly built homes. Now, we are getting close to that portion of the video where I do reveal the neighborhood that I chose to live in and why I like it so much. But before that, we do have one more community to get to, and that is the Grant Highland area. We are now heading back west a bit, and this is the neighborhood just north of the downtown area. We talked about the neighborhood just south, and now we're going to be talking about the neighborhood just north of downtown. Now, these homes are also older, some historic, bungalow, craftsman style homes, smaller lots. But again, you are really close to the downtown area. So if you do want to be close to the downtown action, being close to all the really nice restaurants, shopping, the movie theater, the indoor mall, and more, then this area could be for you. It's also less expensive than it would be to live into the Bush Park South Central area, which is the neighborhood just south of downtown. So this gives you pretty much the same access. It's just a lot less expensive to be in this particular neighborhood. Now, this neighborhood is a little bit more busier and congested than some of the other neighborhoods because you do have a main thoroughfare like the MLK Parkway and other streets that run right through this neighborhood that gives the rest of Salem easy access to Kaiser, access to the 5 freeway. So there is more people going in and out of the neighborhood. It's just not as quiet, but that's probably why it comes at a little bit lower of a price point. But again, you still get to be super close to all the amenities in downtown, and you're actually adjacent to Kaiser. You're right in between downtown Salem and Kaiser, which is our sister city to the north, with all the amenities as there as well. Some really good shopping opportunities and good restaurants, good dining in that area. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. It's just having to put up with a little bit more traffic in the area. What's really cool about this neighborhood is that it puts you super close to the Salem Fairgrounds, where the State Fair, County Fair, Ag Fest, and so many other great events that happen throughout the year at the fairgrounds. Really easy access, super quick to get to, so you can be really close to that type of those fun activities. This neighborhood also puts you really close to some great family zones like Athletic Edge, which is like an indoor playground, a massive indoor playground. We love taking our kids there. They have a great time. Also the Gymnastics Center, which is really popular in the Salem area. They've won tons of championships there. So if you're into gymnastics, that's the place to go. They also have cool camps there and just casual gymnastics for the little ones that may be interested in gymnastics later on down the road. Also super close to the Croc Center, which is this indoor pool area. They got water slides there and other activities. So really close to that big facility as well. So if you are looking for more of an affordable area in the Salem area and close to all the action, this may be an area you want to consider as well. All right, you've made it to my neighborhood, which I love. My family and I are absolutely happy that we chose this neighborhood to live in, and that is West Salem. Now, West Salem is going to be unique. I think it's unlike any other area in the Salem area, mainly because it almost feels like an island unto itself. The only way to connect to the rest of Salem is over the West Salem Bridge that crosses the Willamette River. So this is a good and bad thing for us. We love it because, again, there's only reason you're coming into West Salem is if you live in the area. So there's not a lot of cut-through traffic or congestion for people getting to other parts of the city. The bad part is if something goes on the bridge, like an accident or some sort of closure, well, you're kind of screwed because that's really the only access you have. There are other ways to get out of West Salem and across the Willamette River, but you've got to go about 30 minutes north or south to do that. So really this is your only option. And as more people move into West Salem, it can get a little bit more busier on that bridge. But let's take those negatives out and now all the positives, which I really enjoy. You really do feel away from the city. Now, I moved from a large city. My family and I wanted to be away from the hustle, away from all the action, yet still super close. We're about a 10, 15-minute drive into downtown Salem, 20 minutes to some of our favorite grocery stores, and like maybe 30 minutes to some of our favorite U-Pick farms out in the eastern portion of Salem. So we're still super close, but we are really away from it all, especially in the neighborhood we live in. We're about as far west as you can get. We're bordering farmland. To drive into our neighborhood, we're passing cows, passing chickens. Our neighbors have fresh eggs out. It's that type of community. So if you're looking to be away from it all and still be part of Salem, West Salem is definitely going to be the spot for you. Now, we do have amenities here. You have everything that you need here, just maybe not as much as that you would want here. Except, again, you just cross the bridge and you're in downtown Salem, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and you have all of the charm that you can want in the city of Salem. So what I love about West Salem is quiet. I love the hills. I'm a person that loves the hills because I like the views that I get from it from our own house and just driving through the neighborhoods. The rolling hills give you views of the city, views of the farmland, views of the mountains. I can see Mount Hood from our neighborhood. I can see the hills to the west. And to me, I can just big, deep breaths when I'm in my neighborhood and I'm just away from that city life. Now, West Salem offers a variety of home choices. We do have an older community that's going to run closer to the bridge. It runs along Wallace and Edgewater. Smaller homes, older homes, smaller lots, but it puts you right by all the amenities. We've got Roth's Market, which is, again, a higher end market. We've got Safeway, and we've got restaurants up and down Edgewater, one of our favorite sushi spots. Momiji's there. They've got Urban Grange, which is a coffee spot there. They've got Annette's, which is a great casual dining spot. There's Wallery's Pizza, one of our favorite pizza joints over there. Also newly built in the West Salem area is Checkpoint 221, which is kind of like the Yard that I mentioned in East Salem, where this is a food pod area. So again, a big open dining hall, kind of family style eating, TVs everywhere. They got a full bar, which is really nice. And then on the outside, you've got all your food pods. I think there's about 10 of them there, at least right now. And all the food variety that you would want is right there. And again, newly built. So this is a really cool spot, become very popular in the West Salem area. And then along Wallace, you have Walgreens and some fast casual foods like Chipotle, some of your your fast food restaurants as well. You've got the donut shop there, hair salon, dry cleaning. So again, all of your amenity, tons of banks and credit unions are on West. So everything that you would need is right there. It's just the neighborhoods itself, when you get up into the hills and the rolling spots, I just, again, find them so peaceful. And you have newer construction, newly built homes, and then you actually do have new construction that's happening in West Salem. So if you want to be away from it all, be in West, and you want new construction, again, hit me up. I know where those spots are. But what I love about it too is I can head into town, but I can head more west into the farmland. Sometimes I just need an escape, need to breathe, and I just drive through the farmlands, miles and miles of open space. Also puts us really close to a lot of the vineyards here in the Willamette Valley and the wineries. We are known for our wine country here. And so if you love wine and wine tasting in that community, well, then West Salem is going to be a great fit for you because it is right in our backyard. In fact, I can literally walk to one of the wineries, Red Hawk, in my community. They have got membership for people, which is great. A lot of people in the neighborhood have membership there. Also, if you want large land, large pieces of property, not necessarily farmland, but just acres and acres of land, and still live in Salem, then West Salem has that right there for you as well. You're just going to be a little bit more on the outskirts, the outer edges of West Salem, but a lot of people, we almost thought about buying a larger plot of land because, again, we came from a big city, all the congestion. We ended up choosing a very nice neighborhood with a lot of kids in it because we've got small kids. We wanted them to be able to walk to their friend's house, being in the community and just being right out the front door. They can play with friends. But there is still something to be said for having a big piece of land and still being 20 minutes away from the city. There's also a lot of great park spaces in West Salem. You got Orchard Heights Park, which has a playground, sports courts, baseball fields, little hiking trails. And they got hiking trails all throughout West, which is something that my family and I really love doing. And you have Wallace Marine Park, which is off Wallace Road. There you've got soccer fields, big softball and baseball complex, playground runs along the Willamette River. Now, I will say there can be a little bit of a homeless contingency there along the river portion. They're kind of in the brush. So you do have to be aware of that in full transparency. There is a walking bridge, too, that is adjacent to the driving bridge across the Willamette River. So you can just walk across the river as well. That puts you into the downtown area. So lots to love about West Salem. If you want to live in a community where you're away from it all, but just 10, 15 minutes away. And if you want large property, you're 20 minutes away from downtown. If you've made it through the end of this video, awesome. You've got a great overview of what living in Salem is like. Again, if you want more specifics, you're going to stay tuned for my other videos coming out about each neighborhood. So spend more time in each neighborhood, giving you a little bit more detailed information. If you are thinking about making that move, if you're moving away from Salem, hit my team and I up at the contact information below. We love helping people move and relocate to and from this city. If you like what you see, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel to get more videos, hit the bell to get notified, and again, comment below. We'd love to know what areas you're thinking about moving to or where you live now that you're thinking about selling your home. All right, we'll see you on the next video.